It is soon to be Labor Day weekend, and the President of the United States is celebrating the holiday by stripping labor rights from federal employees. That's right. On Thursday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to strip the collective bargaining rights away from workers at the National Weather Service, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and other federal agencies, claiming a national security exemption. Uh, okay. National security? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, no, it's a national security emergency. That's why we have to take away their rights to collectively bargain. How do workers that assert their right to collectively bargain, how does that impact national security? I don't think it does, especially for workers that are not even involved in national security. Okay. Now, look, this move basically builds on Trump's executive orders in March, aiming to end bargaining rights for an estimated 1 million federal workers under the same premise. That order is being challenged in court. A lot of the workers that are impacted, like, for example, nurses and park rangers, well, obviously, they don't really serve national security functions, do they? No, not really. Now, they're arguing in court that this is basically retaliation against them for pushing back against Trump's agenda, which again is anti worker. Now, I think this is more Project 2025. One of the stated goals in Project 2025 is to destroy public sector unions. Now, they're stating that union representation of government workers is, quote, incompatible with democracy, and are asking Congress to make public sector unions illegal. That is in Project 2025. That is their plan. Okay. So now, so far, the Heritage Foundation and the Federalist Society, their Supreme Court, okay, picks that Trump has put on the court. So far, they have cited against public sector unions over and over and over again. In the Janus v. AFSCME decision, public employees are allowed to opt out of paying union dues while still receiving the benefits of collective bargaining. Now, that basically allows people to freeload. That freeloading ends up harming unions and union workers, by the way, in the long run, because it starves them of revenue, starves them of the funding that they use to try to protect workers and advocate for them. So, I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on here. All right. Now, Matt Biggs, president of the International Federation of Professional and Technical Engineers, which represents workers at NASA, said that it was particularly upsetting that Trump chose to sign his latest order just ahead of Labor Day. The Trump administration has doubled down on being the most anti-labor, anti-worker administration in United States history, Biggs said in a statement. He added the bargaining rights for civil servants at NASA extend back to the 1960s. I'm not exactly sure what union workers who voted for Donald Trump really expected from this administration. You know, I mean, you had the Teamsters, for example, Sean O'Brien, who met with Donald Trump. Okay, and the Teamsters also poured money into Republican candidates and refused to make a presidential endorsement. Now they're finding out that Republicans, they're not exactly great for unions. Weird. Now, look, first they come for the public sector unions, and then they come for the rest of the unions. That's usually how it works out. Now, Everett Kelly, president of the American Federation of Government Employees, noted that some of the agencies in Trump's Thursday order had already been hollowed out by cuts from the administration and its so-called Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. Oh, yes, the not-so-efficient Department of Government Efficiency. The one that wasted tons and tons of money. The one that was paying their employees over, what, 6 figures? to come in and break government and steal our personal information, our data from the SSA, for example, probably giving it off to Palantir, Peter Thiel's company, that is going to take our information, likely, and kind of develop a Chinese-style social credit thing based on our information. Oh, great. Yeah, lovely. Awesome. So, no, terrible. Terrible. Now, the cuts here, by the way, I mean, they were in the National Weather Service, who now has to hire hundreds of workers after pushing too many of them out the door that they couldn't actually function. Now, Kelly said in a statement that the latest executive order is another clear example of retaliation against federal employee union members who bravely stood up against his anti-worker, anti-American plan to dismantle the federal government. Now, as HuffPost had reported earlier in April, Trump has gone after unions, after workers, even more aggressively than Ronald Reagan. I mean, where Ronald Reagan was patient zero, you have Trump that is essentially the plague. He is continuing that work in breaking federal unions. In addition to stripping bargaining rights from workers, he's also made sure that agencies that actually enforce federal union rights get kneecapped. Okay? He's also ignored union contracts negotiated by his predecessor. It's very obvious what they're trying to do, said Lauren Leap, who heads a union chapter at the Bureau of Land Management. The administration knows we fight, and they know it's in the public interest. We're fighting to keep people in these positions so they can continue to serve, and they don't like it. Look, at the end of the day, Trump, he's coming for workers. I mean, it's not it's not like he hasn't already given his opinion on unions, right? When he was talking with Elon Musk, he's like, yeah, I hate unions. Yep, I hate unions and I hate overtime, and I don't pay it. So, and of course, Elon Musk also hates unions. All these giant corporate people hate unions. So that's what's going on here. Look, they don't like it when working people get together and in order to fight for each other. Instead, they would rather have it where workers fight each other for what little scraps come from the wealthy's table. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that he continues to not only divide people, but also to weaken public sector unions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.